Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Q3000, and I'm here to review Bioshock 2 for my Xbox 360. Um, First of all, I just gotta say, if you ever played the first Bioshock, the game was awesome, amazing game. Its art design, its gameplay, storyline, the graphics. It came out back in '07, and I played the shit out of that game. That game was well, not the game of the year, but probably in the top five, top three of my game of the year back in '07. But that game was incredible. It got, tens and nines and stuff like that. It was just an awesome game. The atmosphere, the city Rapture was just amazing. I mean, you've never been there before. There's so much intrigue and so much, it was epic. I mean, it was like, because before, and here's this big city underwater, and you don't really know how it got there. And I mean, the first like hour and a half of Bioshock, I was just so amazed at the game. I mean, I was like, man, I was just. I mean, the storyline was amazing too. It was a lot better than this one. And Bioshock 2, I mean, it's not as good visually, and it's not as good, storyline wise, but gameplay wise, I mean, it's actually a lot better gameplay wise. First of all, the visuals aren't as good. Um, 2K Marin actually did this one, and they they basically were well. The people that did the first one basically started a little bit on the second one, and they were actually going to start a different game and a different project, I guess. And they handed it off to 2K Marin, and they're the people that did this one. So a lot of people, some people from the first one that worked on the first one, actually worked on this game, but so it's kind of the B team, I guess. But it turned out great. I mean, it turned out wonderful. If you're worried about that, I mean, you should get this game. I mean, it's great. It has a great storyline, though it's not as intriguing as the first one. The storyline's good. It's not quite as good as the first one, and the gameplay is better because you can dual wield this time, and you couldn't in the first one. The first one was great. Um, this one, I mean, the gameplay is just slightly enhanced, so you can dual wield this time. And this time, you actually play as a Big Daddy, which is really cool. And so you get all his attachments. You got the drill arm. You got the that nail gun. You have the machine guns and stuff. You just have a lot more powerful weapons than you did the first time. Um, it's just amazing. I mean, they have all the old, Eves back. They have the B1. They have the telekinesis. They have electro bolt, and you can even upgrade them, which is awesome. So you can make it look like you can set up all your stuff. So you can upgrade them and make them more powerful, and make your weapons more powerful. And it's just awesome. I mean, it's just a lot more in depth. All the mini games though that I hated in the first one, they've all been changed. I mean, the hacks and stuff for all the bots and for the machines and stuff like that, they've all been changed, and now they're all timing games, I guess. The first one, they had basically the tube game or something. Yeah, it had tubes that you had to line up, and it was pretty bad. And I just hated it so much. But this one it's a lot better. It's a lot more streamlined, I guess. And big difference between this one and the first one is it has multiplayer, of course. The multiplayer is 5-on-5. They have custom maps, from the single player. Basically, you get to fight each other as the crack daddies and stuff. I mean, you're crackheads running around, and you're basically just trying to kill stuff. And you have machine guns, you have Eve and all that stuff from the single player. You have turrets still. You can hack the turrets and all that stuff. But the big change is that you have a Big Daddy suit in every level, and basically the person that gets the Big Daddy suit kind of wins, I guess, because it's really hard to take down a Big Daddy. I mean, in the storyline in the first one, it was really hard to take down a Big Daddy in the first one, because you had to use your shotgun, and you had to Basically, you had to give him water, and then you had to shock him, and then you had to shoot him. I mean, it was hard. I mean, sometimes, I mean, it was like you'd be low in health, and it'd be really hard. Because you really don't want to respawn in a Vita Chamber, because then you'd be screwed. But, the first one was awesome. This game is just not as good, storyline-wise and graphic-wise. But, gameplay is actually a little bit refined, I guess, from the first one. Anyone who loves shooters, anyone who has a PS3, PC, or a Xbox 360, you should get this game. This game is awesome. I highly recommend it. I give it a 9.4. It's an awesome game. It's just not as good as the first one, in my opinion. And they should have just did a single player and just focused on that. And it probably would have made it better, But, this is a minor gripe, I guess. But please rate, please comment, and please subscribe. Thank you for watching. It's been my Bioshock 2 review. Thank you.